Hi guys, this is your weekly episode of Spilling Coffee Beans. So we are supposed to be discussing like little tips and things for Thanksgiving. So my ideas are pretty simple. I mean, we have a really large family, so um, I know most people have like 2 or 3 people in their homes at any given time. Not us. We have 5 kids. So I have a house of 7 minimum, 7 days a week. The best time that I think to really hone in those skills of being able to do some really crazy stuff is during the holidays. I really enjoy hosting events and doing parties and things like that. We are not usually home during Thanksgiving. We usually go out of town. But I do definitely have some pretty good tips because I have hosted Thanksgiving and, you know, after doing so many family events, you just kind of get these little habits that you don't even think are habits anymore. But for the average person that doesn't have a lot of people in their home, these can actually help you out quite a bit. Um, Thanksgiving can be pretty stressful when it comes to cooking so much food and having so many people come in. It can really be stressful for you, even be stressful for your guests coming in. So my goal is to make it as easy and as enjoyable as possible. So my first tip is to-go containers and silver foil pans. So everybody envisions Thanksgiving as having like these beautiful plates and these beautiful containers. You can definitely do that on some of your major things like the gravy or even the turkey or something like that. Or like if you cut up the ham and put it on the pretty tray, that's awesome. But, for every dish that you make or someone brings, there's a dish to wash, or a dish to fit in your fridge. So you definitely want to keep all that down to a minimum because when you're trying to visit, the last thing you want to do is spend all day cleaning. So my tip is to definitely invest in a lot of the silver foil pans. Um, you know, Even the little tiny ones that are maybe 12-inch by 8-inch or something, like the little small little, like maybe the little brownie ones. um, they make great to-go containers as well. So when people leave, you can just shove food in them and be like, "Here, take this. I don't need all these leftovers." Um, that it just makes life go so much smoother. That leads me to-go containers. Go to Sam's, get you a thing of the to-go plates that has the lid that falls over, that you can pin in like you would at a restaurant or whatever. You know, if you're feeling fancy, go do that or get the ones that the little, it's like the plastic bottom and the little lid that pops on. But send food home with people. Don't feel like you have to, people don't want their food or whatever because there's always someone that wants a to-go plate. Trust me, especially with desserts. Even with get like the to-go container, the plastic ones that have the little lids, the little Gladlock ones, and debone that turkey while you're working. While you're cleaning up, just debone the turkey, throw it all in one of those, throw it straight in the freezer. Then you have turkey for sandwiches later. Just those are little things that just make life so much easier. Of course, having someone that you can kind of count on, like maybe assign one of your teenagers or, a teenager in your family. Hey, do you mind being the trash person today? A couple of them, every time you see the trash getting full, hey, come do the trash for me. And I mean, if you just like assign those little tasks to people, maybe assign someone to double check the restroom, make sure there's tissue in it, or put out extra rolls of tissue and extra soap in the restroom. That way, because I mean, if you're like us, we have so many people come in. I mean, our house gets really, really crazy. Um, Let me see. That goes to my next thing. When people come in, everybody's hungry. They're trying to save their they try to save their appetite for the feast. But 9 times out of 10, the feast is never on time. So use those pumpkins from Halloween. Cut those babies open, scoop out those seeds, rinse them off, throw them on a pan, throw some good seasoning on them. You can do seasoned salt, you can do sugar and cinnamon, you can do, there's just a number of things that you can throw on those seeds, like just squish them all up, throw them on a pan, throw them in the oven a day or two before Thanksgiving. Make a little container and have pumpkin seeds out. Just something for everybody to snack on, some goldfish. Make some homemade Chex Mix. This is stuff you can do a week in advance and have it ready. That way, when the hunger starts striking, you don't, have a crazy army asking, when's it ready? When's it ready? You just have everything there. And I know my camera's all wonky today. I'm actually holding it. I need to get a better tripod. My tripod has a clampy thing that you have to clamp onto something, and I don't have anything near me to clamp onto, so I'm winging it with my hand. Another really cool thing is if you don't have kids, but you have family that has kids, because there's always that, I'm that cousin in our family that has 5 kids. Everybody's like, oh my God, why do you have so many kids? Because I like them. They're cool. I love my kids. They're great. Not everybody has kids. I understand that completely. I usually travel with, kid stuff for my kids to be entertained by, but not everybody does, or they pack and they forget things or whatever. Always have like a little shoebox full of, crayons and coloring books. That could be perfect for the little ones. If you go to the thrift store, 9 times out of 10 they have these little bags, like just little bags for like $3 or $4, and they're full of little junk toys, like the little McDonald's little Happy Meal toys. You can get a bag of those, maybe 2 bags of those for like $5-10, and just have them in a little box. That way you have like something for little kids to play with. That will keep them out of your hair and keep you from going crazy. Keep your knickknacks safe, because not everybody has child-proof homes. And instead of running around like, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch, it's so easy to divert them just being like, here, play with this. Even if your house is big enough, maybe assign one of the guest rooms, have like a TV, DVD player, that's so old-fashioned, Netflix, whatever you can, have it in there for the kids. That way, if there's older kids, they can watch movies, younger kids can watch movies. Throw the toys in there, have a coloring book in there, just something for the kids. If you don't want to do it inside and you're more of an outdoors person, have it set up with like, horseshoes or some balls in the backyard for them to kick around, like a soccer ball, a football. Teenage boys, Thanksgiving football in the front yard is the way to go. Kids love that stuff. And yes, I am looking at my computer because I made a cheat sheet list, because I will get off track and we'll be talking about stuff like all in the left field. So, yeah. Okay, so I usually do a table specifically for drinks and for like your plates and forks and spoons and stuff. It just makes it easier for me. What I do is I usually have a big old igloo. I'm from Texas. We like our iced tea. I have the big orange igloo that you see for like the sports events and things like that. I make that full of iced tea, just because I don't want to have to stop in the middle of, catering to everybody and have to make more tea. So I make one of those full of iced tea. You can make a second one full of Kool-Aid or full of ice water or whatever your little heart wants. Also set up the little table. That's where we put all the booze, because there's always someone that likes to have a couple mixed drinks. There's someone that likes to have wine. There's always the beer fans. They can put their coolers under the table. It just kind of has a designated place where everything can go. And that's just, it helps. And you get to decorate it, so it'll be kind of cute. I usually do stuff like that to have kind of a focal point. I'm not really... Okay, I lie. I love doing little parties, and I like decorating for stuff like that. So any kind of excuse to be able to do that's fun to me. I'll put a table, put like a cheap tablecloth over it, throw something on it, just make it look cute, throw a bunch of cute stuff on it. We're all good. Also, take advantage of your outdoors. Not everybody has a house that's able to cater to, 30 people coming over, being all crazy, eating turkey. If you have a backyard or even a front yard, get some of those foldable tables, set them out there, cover them with a sheet. If you don't want to go all out and buy stuff, get, sheets or like curtains or something, cover them, make them pretty. Have everybody, host everybody outside. Like, hey, get your food, go sit outside. Have it set up to where you have horseshoes. As people get done eating, a couple of them are going to start a game of horseshoes. It never fails. And then you have entertainment. Then next thing you know, it's all conversation and just fun and having family time. Another thing is, my biggest thing is keep conversation light. This is not... we all have that Aunt Nilly that wants to know everybody's business and ins and outs. Just try to avoid the family gossip. I mean, you're gonna hear about, your cousin who, did something crazy or whatever, but keep it light. Don't turn it into a negative. And that goes with like politics. Leave that stuff for another day. This is not the day to discuss all of that crazy stuff. Just be thankful you're with your family and having friends. I guess my last thing would say, make a food list. If you do have a big family and y'all don't mind eating each other's food, then, make a food list. Set it up on a paper, kind of assign people as they say or whatever. Ask people for their food allergies, write their food allergies on it. Write their names with their food allergies. And then when everybody's done signing up, make a copy of it and, or take a picture with your phone and text it to everybody in the family. Be like, hey, this is the food list. These are the people that have food allergies. It just keeps everybody safe, and it makes sure that, if you make something, that you're being aware of what's in it. Also, even maybe the containers that have nuts, food that has nuts. Like I make yams and I put pecans in my yams. Write on there, pecans, or write on this, whatever. That way people are aware, because, sometimes your cousin brings their girlfriend and the girl's probably allergic to something, and then it turns into an ER event. You don't want that to happen. But I mean, I guess that's really it on my how to do Thanksgiving. I'm used to feeding armies, so it's kind of funny to go through all these, and to me this is all completely normal, and you guys are probably like, man, this girl is trying to host, a wedding size venue or something. But that's kind of what our family events turn into. I mean, my husband has a ton of siblings, like 10 of them total. I have a few siblings, I have cousins, we do family events. It's, it grows and it keeps growing because we're all having kids. So, the more the merrier. But, well, if you guys have any kind of comments, be sure to leave them in the comments. be sure and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you guys have a super happy Thanksgiving and, you know, happy holidays. Enjoy that family time. Don't let it be stressful. You know, plan things out and just remember to have fun. So until next time, bye guys.